I'm Walt Mossberg. Shut up. Last week, Michael Arrington, head of TechCrunch, issued a public apology on his blog because one of his interns had attempted to extort a poor defenseless .com company who just didn't know any better by offering to write a positive review in exchange for a MacBook Air. Arrington went on to say that this wasn't the first time the kid had tried this tactic, and they imagined in the past he had been successful. Arrington didn't reveal the kid's name because he was under 18, but the kid outed himself in a pathetic non-apology on his adorable little blog. The intern was Daniel Brusilovsky, 17-year-old wonder kid and founder of the Teens in Tech conference, which I'm sure wasn't an awkward place to be at all, since it happened the day after all this went down. Are you that Daniel Brusilovsky?
Shut up, you guys!
At first blush, it looks like Arrington did the right thing. He fessed up to a problem in his shop, he deleted all of the bastard's posts, and he fired him. But was it so honorable? I don't know. For one thing, TechCrunch's stock in trade is not just covering tech companies, but uncovering the asshattery of said companies. And if someone else exposed TechCrunch's problems, well, that'd be hideously embarrassing for Arrington, wouldn't it? Even if Arrington really believed what he wrote, which I think he did, it was still a defensive move, not some goddamn noble thing to be applauded. But Arrington isn't the real bad guy in this situation. No, it's Daniel Brusilovsky. Just who is the little bastard? According to Arrington, Scoble, and a host of other middle-aged white men who no doubt have their fingers on the very pulse of youth culture, he was the next generation of tech writer. He was a star. He was a genius. Some sort of savant when it comes to the web. I tell you, when I hear 40-year-olds talk about a 17-year-old in those terms, it makes me wonder if they actually understand what they're supposed to be experts in. Here, this kid had the brass ring and he blew it because of greed. I'm sure he was precocious and had some level of insight into tech. If he hadn't, Arrington wouldn't have let him write feature articles unless he wasn't good on an absolute scale, and only good for a 17-year-old. I'm good for a 127-year-old, Arrington. Give me a paycheck and some prunes. And the kid was told again and again how amazing he was, without the age or experience to temper such smoke in the assery, and who knows, maybe he started to believe it. Maybe because this kid was bumped to the head of the line by being able to write for one of the most influential tech blogs in the world, that he really was worth it, and that he was worth other things, like free computers, free hookers, and free cocaine. Disclosure, I don't know if Daniel Brusilovsky asked any companies for hookers and cocaine. That's just what I'd have done. Daniel extorts a company, succeeds, then starts extorting other places. Eventually asks for a MacBook Air from some hapless CEO, and rather than pay up, said CEO calls Arrington, and the kid gets busted. So then what happens? The little genetic smear posts a pathetic non-apology on his blog in a post titled, "The Line Was Crossed." This is how he starts the quote-unquote apology.
In some way or another, the line was crossed that should never have been.
No, you little bastard. You crossed a line in a very specific way, by extorting a company for personal gain. You did that. Take ownership of what you did. Don't act like it was something that happened to you, that you were helpless to stop, as though the devil himself took over your body and used it to write the email. After issuing an empty apology devoid of any specifics whatsoever about what he was apologizing for, Daniel says,
"This is the first day of the next learning stage for me. Yes, I am young, but from here I can only learn more. To my family, friends, colleagues, and especially TechCrunch, I am sorry. I am taking this entire experience, learning, and moving on."
The kid was an internet savant because he knew how to Google for insincere apologies delivered by contrite politicians? Seriously, I'm pretty sure I've heard that exact apology, nearly word for word, come out of the mouths of senators caught having sex with transvestite Thai hookers in the Oval Office, while doped up to the gills on mescaline. His apology reads like he's admitting to an opportunity instead of a transgression, like by acknowledging what he did without any goddamn remorse, he's actually accepting a promotion. It's sickening. Also, what kind of an idiot wastes a bribe on a single MacBook Air? I don't mean to suggest it isn't an amazing product. Everything Apple does is perfect. But if you're gonna go for a bribe, why not go for something bigger, like hookers and cocaine? Kids, right? So at the end of the day, enough people accepted this little puke's apology that he probably won't learn to be a more moral person. He'll probably learn that if you do something obviously wrong and get caught, all you have to do is rub onions in your eyes, offer a token apology that you don't mean, and all will be forgiven. Sure, I'd love to rub Arrington's nose in this, because I hate the pompous bastard so much. Get you, Arrington. But really, this just isn't that interesting a story. It's sad, sure, but hardly noteworthy. Someone out there is corrupt? Stop the goddamn word presses. This has been Walt Mossberg. Shut up.